Welcome to Grace Over 50. If you're here, I already know something about you. You're a woman who has lived, loved, learned, and emerged more graceful, more grounded, and more deeply herself with each passing year. You're not here for trends. You're here for truth, the kind of truth that shows up in the way you move, the way you speak, and yes, even in the way you dress. Today we're going to talk about skirts, but not in the way fashion magazines or department stores do. We're not chasing what's in. We're reclaiming what's always been ours, elegance. And I promise you, this isn't just about fabric and fit. It's about rediscovering a version of yourself that maybe you've quietly set aside. It's about standing in front of the mirror and seeing not just a body, but a story, a woman, whole, wise, and worthy of being seen. Let's be honest. Skirts can do one of two things. They can either bring out your natural elegance or make you feel like you've lost touch with yourself. Maybe you've felt it before. You try one on, tuck in your blouse, smooth it over your hips, and still something just feels off. Too tight. Too stiff, too not you. And in that moment, it's easy to blame your body. But here's the truth, it's not your body, it's the wrong skirt, the wrong cut, the wrong message. That's why this video matters. Because after 60, we don't have time to waste on clothes that make us feel invisible. We're not dressing to fit in anymore. We're dressing to reflect who we've become. To honor the woman we are today, not the girl we used to be, and not the version of ourselves society tries to mold us into. Today is about choosing clothes that rise to meet the life you've built, the presence you carry, and the calm confidence you walk with. So if you've ever found yourself standing in your closet wondering, where did my style go? Or why do I feel like nothing fits who I am anymore? You're not alone, and more importantly, you're not wrong. Your style hasn't disappeared, it's just waiting to evolve. In the next stretch of our time together, I'll walk you through 6 skirts that don't just flatter your shape, they elevate your spirit. These aren't trendy pieces meant for teenagers. They're timeless. They work with your changing body, your busy life, your refined sense of beauty. And most importantly, they support the way you feel when you walk into a room. Not shrinking, not apologizing, but showing up fully with quiet grace. And before we go any further, I want to gently ask something of you. If this conversation speaks to a part of you that's been wanting to be seen, cherished, and celebrated, take a moment now to subscribe to this channel. Grace Over 50 isn't just about what you wear, it's about how you carry your life. And I would be honored to walk beside you as we explore this journey together. And while you're here, share a little piece of your story in the comments. Have you struggled to find skirts that feel right? Have you rediscovered a piece in your wardrobe that suddenly feels like you again? Your voice is a part of this space, and every comment adds warmth to our little community. Now pour yourself a warm cup of tea, take a deep breath, and get comfortable. Because today we're not just learning about clothes, we're remembering who we are, and in that remembering there is elegance. There's something almost sacred about the moment a woman rediscovers herself through what she wears. It's not about impressing anyone or being seen in a crowd. It's about feeling something again, alignment, ease, familiarity. Skirts in particular have a quiet power. They don't shout, they don't demand attention, but when they're right, they change everything. They affect how you walk, how you sit, how you carry yourself. They remind you in the softest way that you are still in motion, that your femininity didn't fade with time, it matured. And your style can, too. When we were younger, fashion often felt like performance. We dressed for jobs, for dates, for roles we thought we had to play. Skirts then were sometimes tight, too short, or meant to flatter someone else's definition of beauty. But somewhere along the way, something shifts. One day you wake up and realize that your wardrobe no longer reflects who you are. The colors feel wrong. The cuts feel confused. The mirror shows a body that has lived, and that body deserves clothes that honor it, not compete with it. That's why this conversation is so much deeper than style. Because after 60, everything we wear should feel like a soft embrace, not a negotiation. Skirts should move with us, not against us. They should say, without needing to say it aloud, I am comfortable in who I am. I don't have to prove anything to anyone. I simply want to feel like myself again. You may notice that your waist has softened, that your hips have shifted. The things that used to fit no longer do, and sometimes the clothes you used to love now feel like they belong to someone else. But that isn't a loss, it's an invitation. An invitation to redefine beauty. To say, I have changed and I deserve to dress for the woman I've become, not the girl I used to be. Too often, society tells women over 60 to quiet down, to fade into the background, to dress in ways that don't make waves. But you and I know better. You weren't meant to disappear. You were meant to shine in a different light. A softer one, a deeper one, a light built from decades of resilience, joy, heartbreak, reinvention, and wisdom. When you find the right skirt, the one that fits beautifully, flows naturally, and makes you feel seen, something shifts. It's not just fabric, it's permission. Permission to be noticed. Permission to feel beautiful again. Permission to take up space. The right skirt doesn't just shape your silhouette, it affirms your worth. And so, before we get into fabric or cut or length, let's pause and name the truth. Choosing to wear a skirt that makes you feel good isn't superficial. It's revolutionary, it's an act of self-respect. It says, I'm still showing up with pride. I'm still choosing to honor the woman I see in the mirror. And I deserve to move through the world with softness, strength, and grace. You don't owe anyone a reason for wanting to feel beautiful. You don't need permission to rediscover your style. You've earned the right to wear pieces that make you feel radiant. And the most elegant thing you can do at this stage of life is to dress in a way that says, gently and unmistakably, I know who I am now. Because elegance isn't just about what others see. It's about how you feel when you close your eyes. It's how your shoulders relax when you know your clothes fit just right. It's how you breathe a little easier when you walk without tugging, adjusting, or second-guessing. It's how you return home after a long day and still feel proud of the way you carried yourself. That's the power of a well-chosen skirt, not because it covers your body, but because it reveals your presence. Not because it conforms to a rule, but because it honors your rhythm. When you let go of clothes that no longer speak to you, you make room for something far more precious, pieces that listen, pieces that feel like home. And today, we're going to walk through those pieces, 6 styles of skirts that are designed not for who you used to be, but for the elegant, evolving woman you are right now. Each one will serve a purpose. Each one will support your movement, your mood, and your moment in life. And as we explore them together, my hope is that you won't just learn how to dress. You'll remember how to feel. So let's take that next step together. Not rushed. Not pressured, just one thoughtful choice at a time. Let the skirts you wear tell the story of a woman who's not afraid to be seen, who has let go of what no longer serves her, and who dresses not for the world, but for herself. There is a certain kind of balance that only comes with time. The kind that no longer seeks symmetry in the mirror but finds harmony in movement, in comfort, and in self-respect. And if there's one skirt that quietly mirrors that balance, it's the ALine. The ALine skirt doesn't ask for attention. It simply fits. It begins at the waist with a gentle hold and flares downward like the letter it's named after. It's soft, graceful, forgiving, and yet remarkably refined. The moment you slip one on, something shifts. You feel supported but never restricted, seen but never exposed. The ALine doesn't just flatter your body. It reflects your poise. By the time we reach our 60s, our silhouettes have softened in the most beautiful ways, and the ALine skirt meets those changes with kindness. It defines the waist without gripping it. It glides over the hips without holding on. It knows how to move with you, not to control you, not to push back, but to accompany you like an old friend who knows when to speak and when to simply walk beside you in silence. There's something elegant about the way it sways when you move. Not too much, not too little, just enough to remind you that you still carry rhythm, that you still carry grace, and that you've earned the right to walk without hurry. ALine skirts are incredibly versatile, and the magic lies not in their variety, but in how they allow you to express who you are today. For casual days, think quiet mornings at the market or lunch with a friend. Lightweight cotton or soft linen feels effortless. They breathe with you, especially on warm afternoons, and they pair beautifully with a simple tee or a loose button-down, gently tucked in. For moments that call for more refinement, a wool blend or crepe version offers structure with softness. It holds its shape but never your body hostage. And for evenings that deserve a touch of grace, a birthday dinner, a concert, or simply a quiet night with candles, choose silk. Choose a muted tone that glows instead of shouts, something that moves when you do, like a whisper following your steps. Length matters, too short and the harmony breaks, too long and it swallows the movement. The most elegant ALine skirts tend to fall at the knee or just below. This is where the magic happens. It's where leg line meets grace and ease meets elegance. It's where you walk into a room and don't just enter, you arrive. And it's not just about the skirt. What you wear with it matters too. Choose tops that honor your shape. A soft cashmere sweater gently tucked, a crisp blouse with relaxed sleeves, a light cardigan layered with intention. Let your waist be seen, not because you have to prove anything, but because that's where your strength gathers. That's where life has rested, where children were held, where laughter lives. The waist is not a flaw to hide. It is a story to dress with reverence. In shoes, think subtle, think balanced. A-line skirts love a partner, not a competitor. Low block heels, sleek flats, soft ankle boots. Let the shoe ground you without overpowering the message. You are not chasing anything. You are already here. There's a confidence that lives inside a woman who wears an A-line skirt well. It's not the kind that shouts across a room. It's the kind that radiates from within. She knows she doesn't have to follow the noise of the world. She dresses with clarity, with quiet power, with peace. Because the A-line skirt at its core isn't just about fit, it's about philosophy. It says, I understand who I am now. It reminds you that you can be structured without being hard, that you can be free without being lost, that you can be beautiful without asking for permission. If you've never felt at home in your clothing, start here. Let this be your return. Slip on a skirt that meets you with gentleness and lets you stand just a little taller. Let it move with your breath, not against it. Let it remind you that dressing well has nothing to do with being young and everything to do with honoring the woman you are today. And if there's one piece that helps you start or restart that journey, let it be this. A skirt that doesn't rush you, doesn't squeeze you, doesn't try to make you into something you're not. Let it simply hold you, flatter you, walk beside you. You don't need much, just one. In a tone that makes you feel calm, in a fabric that feels like home. And when you put it on, you'll know, not because it changes how others see you, but because it reminds you how good it feels to see yourself again. There's something about rhythm that lives in every woman. Even when life gets quiet, even when the world tells us to slow down, we carry rhythm in how we move, how we speak, how we breathe. And if there's a skirt that honors that inner rhythm, that subtle music we've earned through years of experience, it's the pleated midi. The pleated midi skirt doesn't ask you to be loud. It doesn't cling or confine. Instead, it flows with you like a gentle breeze moving through the trees. Each pleat catches the light in its own way, shifting softly with every step you take. It's a skirt that doesn't just move, it dances. Not for applause, but for joy. Quiet, confident joy. What makes the pleated midi so special is how it balances structure and softness. The pleats give it shape, a sense of design and discipline, but the movement says something else entirely, something free, something intuitive. That duality reflects so much of who we become after 60. We've learned how to carry form and freedom at once. We know how to move through the world with intention and with lightness, and the right skirt becomes a companion in that journey. It's not dramatic, it's not revealing, and yet it draws the eye, not because it demands attention, but because it offers beauty. Subtle, gracious beauty, the kind that doesn't age, the kind that deepens with time. Pleated midis work best when they're made with fabrics that know how to breathe. Chiffon, lightweight crepe. Silk blends that whisper against the skin. Even soft polyesters can work as long as they hold the pleat and don't grow stiff. The fabric should open and close with your motion, never resisting you, never stiffening your presence. This isn't about control, it's about flow. And your skirt should move like you do, with ease and certainty. Length is important. For most women, the pleated midi shines at a particular sweet spot, just below the knee and above the ankle. This length doesn't cut you off or overwhelm your frame. It keeps your lines clean and graceful, offering modesty without weight. Anything shorter can feel unfinished. Anything longer can feel heavy. The right length lets you move through your day with elegance that feels natural, and what you wear with it matters just as much. A fitted top creates balance. A fine knit sweater, a tailored blouse, or a button-down shirt softly tucked in, these pieces support the silhouette without overpowering it. A thin belt at the waist can add gentle definition, but it's not required. You're not trying to sculpt yourself into something you're not. You're simply honoring the shape that's already there. For shoes, think of anchors that don't hold you back, pointed flats, kitten heels, ankle boots that speak softly but confidently. These are shoes that support you, not shoes that steal the spotlight. There's a moment, often unspoken, when you put on a pleated midi skirt and take that first step. You feel the fabric lift slightly, catch a breath of air, and then fall again in harmony with your stride. It's subtle but powerful. It reminds you that you're still allowed to move beautifully. That you haven't lost your grace, you've simply outgrown the need to force it. This kind of skirt isn't for rushing. It's for arriving. It's for choosing your pace. It's for the woman who doesn't need to chase trends or reclaim youth. She's already found something better: rhythm, presence, and comfort in her own skin. Wearing a pleated midi skirt isn't just about how you look. It's about how you feel: fluid, present, and fully alive. It's about reclaiming movement as something sacred again. Not hurried, not performative, just yours. And when you find the right one, in a color that soothes you, in a fabric that breathes with you, something clicks. You step into your day not trying to impress anyone, but feeling aligned, supported, centered, because at this stage, style isn't about looking good. It's about feeling at peace in your body, in your choices, in your presence. And a pleated midi skirt is one of those rare pieces that doesn't just follow your shape, it celebrates your spirit. Some fabrics don't just cover you, they accompany you, they move like breath, they settle like understanding. And when you wear them, really wear them, you don't feel dressed up. You feel seen. That's the beauty of a bias-cut skirt. It isn't loud, it doesn't shout for approval, it doesn't cling to who you used to be. Instead, it glides. It follows the lines of who you are today, gently, fully, without resistance. Unlike other skirts, it's not cut straight across the grain, it's cut on the diagonal, the bias. A quiet detail, but one that changes everything. Because that one shift in direction, it allows the fabric to flow, to move with you, instead of against you. The result? A softness that doesn't just flatter, it frees you. A bias-cut skirt doesn't squeeze, it doesn't press, it doesn't hide, it simply says, "I see you, let's walk together." After 60, we know how it feels to be told to shrink, to disappear into clothes that don't feel like ours, to fight against fabrics that demand we be someone we're not. But a bias-cut skirt, it asks nothing. It only offers freedom, ease, and a quiet kind of beauty, the kind that only deepens with time. The fabric makes all the difference. Silk, satin, soft jersey, light crepe, textures that feel like kindness, that rest gently along your curves, then fall away gracefully. If you want a little more coverage, choose a matte finish or slightly heavier weight. Let it drape, not cling. Let it move, not mold. And the waistband, smooth, simple, often invisible. No tugging, no cinching, just comfort. This isn't about control, it's about harmony. Pair it with a blouse that feels like poetry, or a cardigan that feels like home. Dress it up, dress it down, it always meets you where you are. And here's the truth. When you put on a bias-cut skirt, you remember something. You remember that softness is not weakness, that flow is not surrender, that a woman can be strong and still move like water. You remember that femininity hasn't left you, it's just changed shape, grown quieter, more grounded, more true. And that elegance, it was never about perfection, it was always about presence. So when you wear this skirt, don't rush. Feel it, breathe with it, let it respond to you, walk slowly. Let it brush against your calves like a whisper. Let it remind you that beauty, real beauty, never asks for permission, because the woman you are now, she doesn't need to be defined. She just needs to be allowed. And the bias cut skirt, it doesn't define you, it honors you, it says, you're here just as you are, and that is more than enough. Some skirts are soft, some skirts are fluid, and some carry a quiet strength. The pencil skirt does not float, it does not sway, it stands. It's not here to charm, it's here to speak. Not loudly, but clearly it says, I know who I am. There's a reason the pencil skirt has never gone out of style, because when it's tailored well, not tight, not restrictive, but intentional, it becomes a frame. For presence, and presence is what you have now more than ever. This skirt doesn't ask for attention, it holds posture, it honors stillness. It adds shape where shape matters, gently, precisely, with dignity. After 60, we know how we move. We know how we carry weight, not just in our hips or shoulders, but in our stories. We carry experience, we carry decision, we carry time. A well-tailored pencil skirt respects that. It doesn't erase your curves. It embraces them with lines that follow, not squeeze. It lengthens the leg, defines the waist softly, and gives you structure without sharpness. Look for one that hits just below the knee or mid-calf. Let it move with you, not restrict you. A small back slit, just enough to walk freely. Mid-rise or high-rise, whichever lets you breathe and stand tall. And the fabric, it matters. Choose something with a little stretch, but not too much. Structure should feel like support, not pressure. Think pont knit, soft wool blend, a polished crepe that doesn't wrinkle under pressure. Just like you, when you wear it, balance is key. Pair it with something softer on top, a silk blouse, a draped cardigan. A button-down just slightly unbuttoned at the collar. Let the contrast speak, strength meeting grace, and the colors, classic neutrals hold quiet power, black, navy. Taupe, winter white, these tones don't ask, they affirm. If you want something expressive, go subtle, houndstooth. A fine plaid, a deep charcoal with hidden texture, minimal accessories, a pearl earring, a delicate scarf, a flat leather clutch. No noise, just precision. You don't wear a pencil skirt to fit in. You wear it to stand up, to walk with purpose, even if your day is quiet, even if it's just you and a bookshop, even if it's a dinner at home lit by candlelight. You wear it because some days you want to feel aligned, not loose, not floating, but anchored. This skirt is not about being looked at. It's about how you carry yourself when you're not looking for a mirror. It's about pride, not in the past, but in the present, in the way you show up for yourself, in the way you move through the world with calm command. And maybe that's the most beautiful part. That at this stage of life, your power no longer needs to be proven. It just needs to be worn. So choose a pencil skirt that fits like self-respect, that lets you stand tall. Speak gently, and feel completely composed, because structure doesn't mean stiffness, elegance doesn't mean effort. And dressing well now isn't about approval. It's about honoring the strength it took to become who you are. And if one skirt could say all that without a word, it would be this one. Some garments are more than just fabric. They're gestures, they're messages, they're reminders that beauty can also be an embrace. That's what the wrap skirt offers, not just style, but something softer, something more profound. The act of wrapping something around your waist is deeply symbolic. It's not about hiding, it's about holding. It's like saying, this is mine, this body, this life, I own it, I honor it. The wrap skirt doesn't force itself onto you. It meets you where you are, and it adjusts, not because you need to shrink or squeeze, but because you are still evolving. There's freedom in that, not just in how it fits, but in what it represents. It flows over the hips with ease. It ties with intention, and it moves with grace, your grace. At this age, we know the truth. Our bodies change, our needs shift, our days don't always look the same. Some mornings we want softness. Some afternoons we need flexibility, and always we deserve comfort that honors our dignity. The wrap skirt gives you all of that, without ever asking you to give up who you are. No stiff zippers, no tugging buttons. No seams shouting for attention, just fabric that folds gently, ties quietly, and moves when you do. It doesn't need to cling to be beautiful. It doesn't need to impress to be powerful. It's the kind of piece you reach for when you want to feel beautiful, without trying too hard. And isn't that what we want now? Ease, not laziness. But elegance that doesn't need effort. A linen wrap skirt for a day in the sun. A matte silk version for an evening at the theater. A soft jersey piece for afternoons at home with a good book. It always fits. It always flatters. It always flows. Pair it with a tucked tank top, a soft blouse, a light wrap sweater. Let the waistline be visible, not to prove anything, but to show that you're not hiding anymore. You're not dressing for anyone's gaze. You're dressing for your own sense of self. Add simple touches. Low block heels, leather sandals, a pendant necklace. Nothing loud, nothing busy, just elements that echo who you are: strong, calm, radiant. The wrap skirt moves with you through change. It doesn't resist it, it honors it. And maybe that's why it feels so right now, because it reflects the woman who no longer needs structure to feel secure, who no longer needs permission to feel beautiful. She knows her worth. She knows her shape. And even as that shape shifts, she stays rooted in herself. Wearing a wrap skirt is a quiet act of sovereignty, a subtle declaration: I am enough as I am today. And that soft tie around the waist, that's not decoration, that's intention, that's ownership, that's self-respect. So wear it, feel it, let it gather you gently, not to hold you in, but to let you open, because the most elegant thing a woman can wear after 60 is comfort that carries meaning, clothing that moves with her body and reflects her spirit. The wrap skirt doesn't ask for attention, but it receives it, because it reflects a woman who is dressed for her life, not someone else's version of it. And that is elegance, wrapped up in one beautiful piece. Some days, you don't want to be styled, you want to be held. You don't want to dress up, you want to dress in, not to stand out, but to settle, to exhale, to move through your day without resistance. That's when the soft maxi skirt becomes more than clothing. It becomes a sanctuary. It's the kind of skirt you reach for when you don't want to think too hard, but still want to feel like yourself, the woman you've become, the woman you're still becoming. It does sculpt. It doesn't pinch. It doesn't ask you to pretend. It simply drapes. Long, light, soft as breath, flowing with your pace, whether that pace is slow, steady, or standing still. A maxi skirt doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to move with you, to offer room for comfort, for ease, for motion, for moments. Because life now is not about rushing. It's about being fully present in how you live and how you feel. Choose fabrics that fall, not fight. Cotton that breathes, linen that sways, rayon, bamboo, voile, each one a language of softness. They whisper across your legs like waves on shore. No heaviness, no stiffness, just grace in motion. Let the waistband be soft, elastic, drawstring, or lightly structured. Let the fabric gather without bulking. Let it frame you without hiding you. This isn't about disappearing. It's about showing up in full comfort, full beauty, full soul. And when it comes to pairing, simplicity sings. A fitted top brings balance, a blouse, a knotted tee, a tucked-in knit. Let the waistline show if it feels right. If not, let the layers fall. There are no rules here, only feeling. On your feet, choose shoes that move like you do. Flat sandals, woven espadrilles, soft loafers, or low boots. You're not trying to elevate, you're trying to land. Add a light scarf, a woven tote, a single pendant, or a strand of beads. Let your accessories echo your breath, simple, thoughtful, grounded. Maxi skirts are beautiful for travel, for mornings on the patio, for brunches that turn into long afternoons, for sitting in silence, for walking without purpose, for existing fully in softness, not in effort. They're kind to your body. They don't ask about your knees. They don't require shapewear. They don't punish your curves. They just allow. And that kind of comfort after 60, it's not indulgent. It's earned. When you wear a soft maxi skirt, you're not stepping out for show. You're stepping into freedom. Freedom to be gentle, freedom to be real, freedom to feel beautiful without effort. It's the skirt you wear when you finally understand that you don't have to try so hard to be elegant. You already are, just as you are, when you are at ease. You are magnetic, so let the skirt move. Let the breeze catch the hem. Let the fabric kiss your ankles. Let the quiet shape of it mirror the quiet power in you. You don't have to say a word, you just have to show up. Comfortable, radiant, and completely at home in your own skin. Because the soft maxi skirt isn't here to impress. It's here to remind you there is no pressure, there is no timeline, there is only presence. And that is more than enough. There comes a time in every woman's life when she no longer asks, "What should I wear?" Instead, she quietly wonders, "What still reflects who I am?" And just as important as what we choose to welcome into our wardrobe is what we gently let go. Because letting go isn't loss, it's growth. It's not about shame, it's about clarity. And when it comes to skirts, there are a few styles that might once have served you, but may no longer honor the woman you are today, not because of age, but because of alignment. Because now you deserve clothes that carry your essence, not just your shape. Let's start here. Skirts that are too short. The mini that once felt bold may now feel out of rhythm with the pace of your life. It's not about modesty, it's about balance. Too short often feels unfinished, like a sentence that ends too soon. And you, my dear, deserve clothing that completes the thought. Then there are the tight, body-hugging skirts. The kind that grip every curve and refuse to let you breathe. These pieces were made for restriction, not for freedom. They silence movement, they shout for attention, but grace speaks in whispers. You've earned the right to walk into a room feeling soft and steady, not braced and held in. Next come the oversized or shapeless skirts, the ones that promise comfort but end up erasing you. They drown the body in fabric, offering coverage but not presence. And while there's nothing wrong with ease, there's a difference between softness and surrender. You don't need to hide inside a silhouette to feel safe. You deserve to be seen as you are now. And finally, we look at the loud prints and neon colors. Not because color is bad, color is beautiful. But the wrong pattern can feel like noise. And at this point in life, you get to choose peace. You don't need to shout to be remembered, you only need to be present. Muted tones, elegant prints, soft florals, quiet geometry. These speak with refinement. They leave room for your voice to rise above the fabric. So if you've been holding onto a skirt that no longer fits, not just physically but emotionally, you're not failing, you're evolving. Letting go of that piece is not letting go of who you were, it's honoring who you are now. That's the most graceful thing you can do, to stand in front of your closet and say, "Thank you for who I was when I wore this, and now I make room for who I'm becoming." This is the new elegance, not flashy, not fashionable, but fiercely honest. You're not dressing for rules anymore, you're dressing for resonance, for calm, for freedom. So as you refine your wardrobe, remember, what you remove is just as meaningful as what you keep. Because the woman you are now, she deserves clothing that supports her story, not costumes from a past chapter. Not uniforms for a version of herself that's already outgrown. Your style is your language. And every piece you release, make space for a wardrobe that speaks more clearly, more gently, and more truly on your behalf. By now, you've walked through more than fabrics and silhouettes. You've moved through reflection, through softness, through structure, through release. You've seen 6 kinds of skirts, each with its own story, its own rhythm, its own way of honoring the woman you are now. The ease of the ALine, the dance of the pleated midi, the quiet strength of the pencil, the flow of the bias cut, the embrace of the wrap, the calm of the soft maxi. These aren't just clothes, they are choices. Not for the sake of fashion, but for the sake of alignment, of clarity, of peace. And perhaps now you're ready for something even deeper, not more, but better, not endless options, just the right ones. A wardrobe that feels like you, not just looks like you. That's where the capsule begins. It doesn't have to be perfect, or strict, or trendy. It just needs to hold space for who you are. Start simple. Choose one A-line skirt in a color that makes you feel calm, one pleated midi in a pattern that lifts your spirit, a pencil skirt in a tone that centers you, a wrap skirt that moves with your changing days, and a soft maxi for all the in-between moments that still matter deeply. You don't need dozens, you just need a few that love you back, that support your lifestyle now, not the one you used to live, not the one others expect. Let your colors be consistent. Let your fabrics breathe. Let your skirts flow with your life, not force it into shapes it no longer fits. Because this season is not about chasing style, it's about standing in it with calm, with joy. With elegance, and yes, elegance still matters, not the old version, not the polished to please version, but the one that reflects dignity, presence, ease. It shows up in the way you walk into a room, in the way your clothing meets your movement without resistance, in the way you carry your past, your power, and your peace all at once. And when you wear these skirts, you're not decorating yourself, you're affirming yourself. You're not saying, "Look at me." You're saying, "I'm here, and I love how that feels." So maybe today is the day you begin again, not with a shopping list, but with a decision to dress with care, to release what no longer reflects your light, to gather only what gives it space to shine. Because at this age, elegance isn't about being noticed. It's about being remembered for how you walk, for how you carry yourself, for how you treat others, and for how fully you honor the life you've lived. If something in this spoke to you, don't just scroll away, share it, comment below, let me know which skirt you've always loved, or which one surprised you. Tell me what you've released, and what you're now ready to welcome in. And if you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe. This space, Grace Over 50, is just beginning, and it's a place for you, your softness, your strength, your style. Because you deserve clothing that doesn't try to change you, but instead reflects you. Elegantly, honestly, beautifully. Until next time. Walk tall, dress well, and stay radiant.